Hello, violinists and violists. Welcome to my channel. My name is Langerman and I'm a violinist in New York City. Today we're having a weekly lesson and we're going to start chords. Today we're going to focus on the right hand, and next time we're going to focus on connecting chords in the left hand. So we're going to use the example from the beginning of this video, the D minor Bach saraband, and we're going to practice how to use the bow and connect from one pair of notes to the next. So for example, if we take the opening chord, the D minor chord, so let's take it apart and see what's actually happening. Very often when we play chords, we break it into 2 and 2. So we play the 2 bottom notes and then we play the 2 top notes. But what we're going to focus is actually in what exactly the arm is doing on the way down. So let's take the first 2 notes, the first open strings. When we switch to the upper 2 notes, there's going to be a brief moment where you're only playing the A string. I'll just do open strings for now. So, and then gradually it goes into the upper 2 notes. So there is that brief moment where you're just playing the A string. So what we're going to do today is we're going to practice this in different rhythms, where in the first step we're going to play just the first 2 notes as a quarter note, then we'll do the A alone as a quarter note, and then we'll do the top 2 strings as a half note, so it's gonna be like this. Okay, I'll add the left hand now. Same rhythm. Quarter, something like that. And then the next step, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to change the rhythm slightly. We're going to do a dotted quarter note on the bottom this time, and then we'll do an 8th note for the single note in the middle. So in this Bach example, when I switch, that's when I place my 3rd finger down for the D minor chord. So now, next step, we're going to take out that single note in between. So we'll do, we're going to do 2 half notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. So the reason we did the other 2 first is to practice the smooth transition. And also, let's pay attention to what's happening with my elbow. Actually, when I roll chords, if we're going from the lower strings to the upper strings, the elbow is actually going to lead, and the hand's kind of going to follow. That's going to create a smooth transition. So if I included G string, for example, if I'm going from... So if I want to play that as smooth as possible from low to high, I let the elbow go first. And the same will work with chords. Now if you were, for example, to play a chord where you want to roll backwards, or if you have even if you have string crossing in some other piece that's going the other way, going from higher string to lower, I'll do the opposite normally. I would let the hand lead on the way back up, and then the elbow follows. That creates the smoothest possible transition between the strings. Because if I do the opposite, if going back up, if I lead with my elbow again, it's going to be really rigid. Or the same thing, if I try to roll the chord, if I try to let the hand go first, what's going to happen is my elbow is going to end up left behind. Like that. And what happens is if my elbow is left behind like this, too much bow pressure up here, and it doesn't ring as well as it can. So let's work on that first chord again in the Bach. So we did 3 rhythms. We did quarter, 2 notes together, quarter, A string note by itself, and then half note the 2 top strings. And then we did the same with the dotted quarter, 8th notes eighth string by itself, and then it's up top, and then with the two half notes. So now the next rhythm, we're going to do quarter and dotted half note like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. All right, and then let's keep going. The next step is the bottom two is going to be only 1/8 note, so it's going to be one and. On the end, we're going to switch. So actually, just as a reminder, like to review what I just said earlier, I'm thinking about how my elbow is going to lead in the timing of this rhythm. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now let's go even further. Depending on how you're gonna plan to play this chord, you know, maybe you want to break it quicker. So let's do 16th note. Let's do it one more time, and this time we'll add vibrato in the left hand. I know we're not doing left hand today, but just for extra. Good. So that's a great way to practice chords, and you can even start on open strings. I actually like to break things down into open strings first. Alright, so actually this is all we're going to do today. You can practice this on other chords in whatever piece you're practicing. Next week we're going to focus on the left hand, and we're going to focus on how to switch from one chord to the next smoothly and as efficiently as possible. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next lesson.